everybody, and welcome back to the Girly Girl Bookworm. So today I have my weekly wrap-up for you. I'm sorry it's coming a day late. I was going to film yesterday because I had a half day, but then I decided that I was going to finish the book I was reading, and then we had a, Christmas movie marathon, made cookies, and it was just fun, so I was just like, I will just film today when I had time. So, in case you didn't know, it is Christmas Eve. Doesn't feel like Christmas Eve, doesn't look like Christmas Eve, especially in Connecticut. I mean, granted, I haven't been home for the holidays since 2003 was my last Christmas home. Every other year has been spent in Disney or two other places because we went to Disney, previously before that or something like that. So, I haven't been home for the holidays in a really long time, so this is very strange for me. But, yeah, enough rambling. I'm going to wrap you up. I have a couple books to haul as well. Two are blogging for books that I, never showed, which I've had for a while, and I don't know why I haven't showed them yet. I got The Mexican Slow Cooker by Deborah Schneider. I did review this book. I'm not going to put it in a video or anything because, I don't know, that's weird. Well, it's not weird, but just not what I usually review. So if you want to look at this review, it's definitely on my WordPress blog. And I think I linked it also in my Goodreads. So, if you look this up, on Goodreads and then, look up my review, it should be there. So, yes, I did review this one. And then I started this one. I got, 26 pages in, but I was, falling asleep the whole time I was reading it because I was exhausted. And then I got into that weird, oh my god, I need to read everything contemporary kick, so I had to put it to the side. And so hopefully I'm praying to pick it up before this month is over so I could, review it for you guys. And that is The Marauders by Tom Cooper. This is supposed to be, a thriller type of book. Every review I saw on it was so good. I can't even really remember what it's about, but I'm definitely looking forward to reading it. It's such a gorgeous book. I can't wait. I might have to go back and reread the 26 pages that I, fell asleep through because I don't remember what they were about at all, so we'll see. Hopefully I can review this soon for you. And then, on Sunday, my friends were, Patrick and, his, guy friends, they were doing a guys' night where they went to go see Star Wars for the second and third time. So, it left us girls doing nothing. And, so three of us decided that we were going to go to a place called Book Barn, which is, this big, giant, used bookstore. And I don't know, I wasn't, thrilled with it. It reminds me of thriftbooks.com where, books are, used but kind of still expensive. And they were selling, ARCs, which you're not technically allowed to sell, and, kind of really bad condition books. So, I felt weird buying books. Plus, nothing was really extremely hitting my fancy, but, I felt because my friends were we have to take her to Book Barn, I felt I had to buy something. So, I got two books. One of them I started, but, I kind of turned out to be not really in the mood for it, so I put it back down. But I started Looking for Alaska by John Green. I'm apparently in the middle of a chapter. I'm apparently 32 pages in, and so far I'm not 100% crazy about it. It's really reminding me of Winger right now, and I really dislike Winger. Even when I was halfway through the audiobook of Standoff, I'm not a fan of those characters and how they are at boarding school for being teenagers. So we'll see if I end up liking this one, but so far, I'm not too crazy about it, but I will definitely pick it back up soonish. And then the other book I got was Paper Towns by John Green as well, just because I really haven't read a lot by John Green. I've only read Abundance of Catherines, and I wasn't crazy about it, and I hate to say this, but I will never, ever read The Fault in Our Stars. I just can't do it. So, these are the ones that seem kind of okay. I've read a spoiler, full-on synopsis of this book, so I kind of remember not liking how this one turns out, but I figured I would pick it up anyway, so I did. Now, the books that I read this week, I have 4 books to share with you. As you know, I've kind of been in a contemporary kick, so 3 of these are contemporary. The first book I read was Searching for Someday by Jennifer Probst, and the second book I read was Searching for Perfect by Jennifer Probst. These are book 1 and 2 in the Searching for series, and these are the spin-off series to Marriage to a Billionaire. I think that's our Millionaire series. Which I loved, and so I was really excited to get to these, but like I've been kind of putting them off for some weird reason. Like I bought this one before I even had this one, and then finally I was like, I'm in contemporary mood, I need to read both of these. I gave them both 5 stars. They were so good, and like I love it because even though it's a spin-off series, you still see the characters from the previous novels. These follow like these group of girls that run like a matchmaking business, and through that, obviously, they fall in love with people that maybe they shouldn't fall in love with, and the typical like not YA, I don't know why I said that, new adult romance usually tends to go. And they're companion novels, so like this one follows one girl and then this one follows the other one. But the great thing is because it's a companion series, you still get the taste of these characters in this book. There's 4 books out, and I am dying to get my hands on the other 2 because I wish I could have marathoned them, but I don't have them, so I can't do that. But so good. Then I decided to pick up on Sunday, because Sunday I wasn't expecting to go out to Book Barn and stuff. I was going to pick up a book and just like read it start to finish, and because it was kind of late, I picked up a shorter one, and that was White Trash Beautiful by Teresa Mamert. This is also a trilogy, but it's very confusing because this like is crazy. This book is only like 200 and something pages, like very not a lot of pages. That did not make sense. But then at the bottom it says featuring over 100 pages of never before seen material. Like what, this book was like 100 pages at one point. Like that like blows my mind because like this was already kind of just like an average like book. Like I can only imagine having 100 less pages. I would totally have rated this way differently if there was 100 less pages in here. I felt like this book concluded and it was fine and it didn't need another book. So I was like, maybe it's a companion series. And no, the second book follows the same characters. Like I looked up the synopsis. So then I was like still curious, and then I looked up the synopsis of the 3rd book. Sometimes I'll do that because it'll be a while before I pick up the next books in series. Sometimes so it's like I'm not really going to spoil myself because I'll probably forget anyways. But the 3rd book follows different characters altogether, and it's a trilogy. I'm like, why would you like all of a sudden like have the first 2 books normal and then the 3rd one like, oh, just kidding, it's about some other guy? Like didn't make sense to me. So I don't know if I'm going to continue the series. I also thought this was just a very average not YA. This is also like a new adult romance contemporary type of thing. And I thought it was just really, really average. I was just reading it to read it. I gave it 3.5 stars. Most of the book was just an average, like 3 stars. And then like even towards the end, even though it's really, really predictable, like there was a part at the end that just kind of like grabbed me, even though like I knew what was gonna happen. I was like sucked in, so that's why I gave it 0.5 star. The ending though still is pretty stupid. Like I hate when characters like try to run away from love, and like it just drives me crazy. Like the whole book, people like spend like time running away from love, and it just bothers me to no end. So I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna continue this series. I almost bought the second book when I was buying this on Book Outlet. I only got this for like 75 cents on Book Outlet. But like, I'm kind of glad I didn't because I really could care less about the rest of this series. If you think it gets better, if you've read this, please let me know down below. And then the last book that I read this week, I tried to branch away from the contemporary. It is Throne of Fire by Rick Riordan. This is the second book in the Kane Chronicles. I by accidentally almost picked up The Serpent Shadow because the way I had it in my box, it was like this. So I was like, oh, and I like picked this up thinking, oh, this is book 2. This is book 3. So thank God I noticed that before I started. I was really nervous going into this because it's been over a year and a half since I read The Red Pyramid. But I was like, I'm just going to try it anyways. Patrick is actually currently reading The Red Pyramid. So I was like, hey, if I have questions, I could just ask him. Plus, I read like this big, huge, like spoiler like thing of the Red Pyramid, so that way I could know what was happening when I read this one. And I felt like even though I did that, I almost didn't need to. Like, he reviews kind of things that are happening, but you almost don't need that prior knowledge. I mean, you do, but you don't. Going into this one, Rick Riordan just has a way of just like sucking you into the story and taking you and grabbing you until the end. I still only gave this book 4 stars, but that's just because of my own doing. I feel like I get really like with Percy Jackson, I have a background knowledge of Greek mythology. I don't necessarily have an Egyptian mythology like background. So I feel like part of that like doesn't help me in the sense that I don't really know why they're having the problems they're having, if that makes sense. And so like it's still really good, but like I feel like lost in some parts because I get confused with whose god is what and why is this god mad at this god, and you know, like I don't know. But the best thing about these books is the characters. Like I love Carter, I love Sadie, even though Sadie does not act like a 13-year-old. I think she's 13 in this one. She just doesn't strike me as a 13-year-old. But like the characters are so awesome. We get introduced to Bess in this character, and I love Bess. And the characters are really what makes this book really good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing the third one, hopefully before this month is over. But there's one book that I want to get to definitely before this week is over. If I could try to find time, I want to get in Winter Stroll by Ellen Hildebrand. This takes place like during Christmas, so I don't know why I forgot to pick this one up before Christmas Eve. So I'm hoping that like today I might have some extra time to sit and just like put some of this in my brain. Tomorrow maybe I'll have some time to read. Hopefully Saturday. I don't think so, but we'll see. I hope to get this done. Even if I read a little bit after Christmas, I think that's gonna still be okay. So I'm hoping to get to this one. I hope you guys had a really great week. I hope you guys have a really great holiday, and